Okay, so welcome back to my last video on the microservice. That is the machine learning microservice, okay, that we built earlier. So what we are going to do here is we are going to run all these microservices into our Kubernetes clusters, okay? So that is the goal of this last tutorial. Okay, so to start, these are all the services: auth service, gateway service, the model training, and prediction service. So I'm going to start our Minikube. So that is it. It's starting. If you don't have it installed, I encourage you to have Docker Desktop installed. Okay, so I think it's coming up in a few moments. Okay, there you go. Minikube is up and running. We can check Minikube version. Okay, we are using version 1.28.0. Okay. So I'm going to CD into auth service. And inside the auth service, we have the Docker files, all these files in here. And then the build.sh. Okay, if you look at the build.sh, that is the content. Okay, so we are using version 1.0.7. Okay, so I'm going to make it executable. Okay, that's why you see it in red. So what I'm going to do is I've already built the image, so but I'm still going to do it so that you see what's going on. You see, the layer already exists because I already did it earlier before the video. Okay, so if you look at Docker images, once we go up a little bit, yeah, so you can see this is the image and it was built 15 seconds ago, and I did it 9 minutes ago for the Iris model micro as well as the gateway service. Okay, so I think I can remove this. It's redundant, so I can say Docker image rm-f, and then we remove that. Okay, so we have all the images running. So let's look at our Kubernetes. We want to switch to our namespace, so it's kubectl get ns. Okay, we have all these namespaces, so the one we are going to use is the model microservice. So I'm going to say kubectl config set it to model microservice. Okay, so we've switched to that context. Okay, so if we do K9S, you see K9S has all this. So you see, this is the namespace we are talking about. So if I press 2 on the keyboard, we are already in that namespace. So we have the auth gateway Iris service running, and then the Kafka cluster and the Zookeeper are all running. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this auth service, and then so if I press, let's say, if I press, let me see what I can press. where is it? Describe. Okay, D on the keyboard. Okay, so you can see that we are using where is it? Let me go down. You can see that the image version we are using is 1.0.6. Okay, so I want to replace it with 1.0.7. Okay, so that is what I'm trying to do here. Okay. So I'm going to remove that auth service. So I'm going to cd into manifest. And these are all the configuration file, the config, the deployment, the secret, and the service. Okay, so I'm going to say kubectl delete -f. Okay, so I'm going to delete all the services. That is the config, deployment, secret, and service. You see, it's terminating. Okay, so once it's terminated, I want to apply it back. So I'm going to say apply. Okay, so I've applied and recreated all these resources. Okay, so you can see down here on the cube, the K9S is container is creating. Okay, so we'll be doing the same thing for the other services. There's a crash that I need to fix. Okay, let me see the error. Let me see got an unexpected keyword argument. Which line is that? Okay, it's auth.py line 38. Auth.py line 38. Okay. Let me go auth.py line 38. So you see, this is where the issue is methods. It's methods. Okay. So here we have to rebuild the image again. So I'm going to say build.sh. Okay, it's done building. So I'm going to delete it and then recreate it again. kubectl delete. Okay, so I think I'm in the wrong folder. So let me cd back to manifest and then run delete and then apply it back. Okay, I'm going to apply everything back. I think it's having the same issue. Line 38. Validate. Okay, so 38 validate method is post. Okay, so you know what? Let me change the version to 8. Sometimes it do happens. So the deployment, I'm also going to change that to 8 and then rebuild it. Rebuild it. Once it's done building, I want to seed it to the manifest and then delete everything and then recreate it. Okay, so now you see it's running as I change the version. Okay, so if I press L on my keyboard, you can see that it's actually running. Okay, so the auth service is good. Now the next thing I need to do is the CD into the gateway service. And then also I want to build that image. I already did it, but I'm doing it again just to show you what's going on. Okay, so it's done. So I can CD into the manifest. And these are the configurations. Okay. So you can see the gateway service is running, but I'm going to delete it and then reapply it. Okay. It's created again. You can see the gateway service is also running. So the iris model micro is the next. So a CD into prediction service. I'm also going to build that image again. I already did it, but I'm trying to show you what's going on. That is also done. It's quick because the layers is already existing. Okay, CD into manifest. It only has one file deployment. So I'm going to say delete. It's supposed to be kubectl, but I have a shorthand for it, which I'm calling k delete. So this is how you need to do it. So I'm deleting it and then applying it again. So you see it's created and it's having some issue. Okay. Let me restart the Kafka cluster. Okay, and see if it's going to work. The broker not available. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so now I think it's the iris model micro is also running. You can see as you can see the info consuming message from Kafka topic that is also running. Okay, and I think everything looks good. You see here it's loading model and downloading file from S3 bucket. Okay, so these are some of the login messages that we created. Okay, so now let's head back to our postman. Okay, so before we head to our postman, we need to forward the service. Okay, we need to forward the service. So let me do this. We need to forward the service. Okay, so what we're going to do here is what kubectl port forward. Okay, let me do this. Okay. This is going to be kubectl, and we want to forward a port, and then the service port we are looking at is 5,000. Okay, that is the authentication service. Okay, 5,000, and it's called auth. Okay, let me lower that 10 down. Okay, that service is called auth. Okay, auth, that is the service. So I'm going to enter that. So that service port is forwarded to this address. Okay, so let's go to the postman, and then we pass in that localhost 5,000 API v1.o/login, and I think the header is basic authentication, which we are passing in the username and then the password. And make sure that your MySQL is running. MySQL is running because it's going to pick that information from the MySQL database. Okay, so let me close that. So once I hit on send, you see now we have the JWT token created for us. Okay, so it's I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to validate that token, bearer token, and paste that in here. I couldn't copy that. Why? Okay, copy, go to validate, and paste that endpoint in there. And then this is just decoding this JWT token. Okay, so once we decode that, this is what we should get. Okay, the admin is true, the expiration date created at this, and then this is the username. Okay, so now our authentication service is working. So once we want to make use of the predict endpoint, we need to validate this token or decode that token and make sure that the token is valid or the token is not expired. In that way, you will have access to post something to this predict endpoint. Okay, and this predict endpoint is on 1958. Okay, so let's expose that port as well. So it's port forwarding 1958, and that is going to be the gateway service. Okay, so we're forwarding that as well. Okay, so once we do that, everything looks good. Now we can send a request to this endpoint. So once I hit that, I think there's some issue. I don't know, but let me try again and see. I think there's some issue that I need to look at. Okay, so let me see. Iris L. Okay, it doesn't show any error. Okay, so yeah, I think I need to go to the gateway. It says what, 404. Okay, 404. It's not showing the error, and it's running on 1958. Let me see. API v1.o.predict 404. Okay, so let me look at the code. What's happening? I think that is the gateway service. And API v10/predict. I think we need to paste in the bearer token, the new bearer token. And yeah, I think this is the one that ends with FLE. Okay, so FLE. So I think I was using the old bearer token, and this is the body we are considering. So if I send this, it's still giving us an error. Okay, so I think I fixed the issue. I know what was happening. So I'm going to give you another demo. I'm going to click on the send. I'm going to generate a new JWT token. Then we can validate that token. Once I hit enter, it generates a new a decoded information for us. And then the predict, I'm going to paste in the authorization token or the JWT token. And the body of this message is this. So probably I can let me see which one I want to paste in. I'm pasting this. Okay, so I need to put in double quotes. Double quote, no single quote. So this data, if we want to check the types, we need to use the schema registry for this purpose, but we are not checking it. So probably you might take this as your next task. Okay, so I'm going to send this post request. Now it says our payload sent success. Okay, so if we go back to our logs, let's see, Iris model, you can see that this is the posted data. Okay, we just sent, and then the model ID. I think I need it's still having, we don't have all the data here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the logs for this pod. Okay, let me grab all the kubectl get all. Okay, so this is the gateway. Okay, let's check the gateway. Okay. No, I think it's the iris rather that we need to check. So I'm going to copy that and then check logs -f and then enter. Okay. So you can see clearly that this is the data up to this point. The status is what 200. The model ID is this. The prediction is what versicolor. The model type is logistic regression and created at this date. Okay. If we want to try another one, I can say this, let's say 0.5, 2.6. 6.5 and 1.5. Okay, so once we send this, there's a success, and then you see it was 0.5, 2.6, and the prediction is for Virginica. Okay, you can see that the other one, the last one was versicolor, and this new prediction is what Virginica. Okay, and the first predictions was also Virginica. Okay, so I think we can try the last one. Let's say this is 2.0 1.4 0.6 and let's say 1.9. So if we send it the success, you can see 2.0, 1.4, 0.6, and 1.9. The prediction says what? Setosa. Okay. So this is how you can actually create this microservice to make predictions. You can scale this, let's say, scale this deployment to 3 replica sets. You see, we can scale the iris model to 3 replica sets. We can also scale the gateway service to, let's say, 2 gateway service to 2. Okay, so the gateway service is now 2, and then the iris model is now 3, and then the authentication service is just 1 replica. Okay, so this is how you can create all these microservices and then make predictions out of it, scale it down. So if you want to scale it down to 1, we can do that 3 to 1. Okay, so that's what you do. You see they are terminating, all these ports are terminating. Okay, so I'm going to check out this code on GitHub, so you can have access and be able to play with it. I'm also going to put some few documentations so that you can have access to what is going on. Okay. All right. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.